They can land on a dime at 30,000 feet. They've logged tens of thousands of hours above the clouds. And when you ask a professional pilot, someone who actually lives in these machines, which private jet they would never put their own money into, the answers are surprisingly specific and surprisingly candid. Welcome back to Luxury Aloft. Today, we surveyed pilots, corporate captains, charter veterans, and longtime owner-operators, and we asked them the question that no aircraft salesperson ever wants you to ask. Which private jet would you walk away from? Not because of how it looks on the ramp, not because of the brochure, but because of what it costs you, what it costs your time, and what it might cost you in peace of mind. Now, before we get started, let's be clear about something. Every aircraft on today's list has flown safely in professional hands. Every model has its defenders. But what these pilots are flagging are the hidden traps, the ownership nightmares, the parts problems, the financial sinkholes that only reveal themselves after the ink dries on the purchase agreement. Let's get into it. Number 5. The Cessna Citation. When Cessna introduced the Citation X, it was the fastest civilian aircraft in the sky. At Mach 0.92, that's 9/10 the speed of sound. It could cross the United States coast to coast in under 4.5 hours. Pilots loved that. Owners loved showing it off. But here's what the brochure didn't tell you. Experienced pilots flag a persistent issue with fuel panel corrosion, a problem that has required costly eddy current inspections that Cessna itself introduced as a corrective measure. In warm, humid climates, corrosion extending into the wing structure has shown up on a number of aircraft. Beyond that, pilots describe the cooling systems as underpowered for an aircraft at this performance level. On hot days, getting the cockpit down to a comfortable temperature can be genuinely challenging. And when you activate anti-ice protection in warmer than standard atmospheric conditions, climb performance suffers noticeably. The Citation X also ended production in 2018, which means the fleet is entirely pre-owned now. Parts exist, service exists, but the pipeline for this specific aircraft is narrowing. A jet that was the speed king in 2000 doesn't command the same resale premium in 2026. Pilots put it simply, you're paying for yesterday's prestige. Number 4. The Cessna Citation CJ4, the one with a lawsuit. Now this is where things get serious. And this information is recent, verified, and ongoing. The Citation CJ4 is a capable light jet. It seats 8 to 9. It cruises efficiently, and in many ways, it's a workhorse of the light jet category. But in April of 2024, Textron Aviation, the parent company of Cessna, issued a service bulletin recommending that all CJ4 aircraft be inspected due to what the company called moisture incursion near the cockpit windshield and window frames. By August of 2025, a major national law firm announced a formal investigation into what they described as a widespread corrosion defect affecting the structural components of the windshield and cockpit windows across the entire CJ4 fleet. A class action lawsuit was filed in federal court in Kansas on September 2, 2025, against Textron Aviation. The complaint alleges that the defect, if left unaddressed, can render an aircraft unairworthy, and that the manufacturer was charging owners hundreds of thousands of dollars for repairs rather than acknowledging and covering a design or manufacturing flaw. Some owners have reported repair bills reaching $500,000 or more, with their aircraft grounded for months at a time. As of July 2026, this litigation is actively proceeding. A virtual town hall for affected owners was held just this month. Now, the allegations in this lawsuit have not been proven in court. But when pilots hear the words class action, structural corrosion, and potential catastrophic failure in the same sentence about a jet they're expected to fly, they put that aircraft at the bottom of their list fast. Number 3. The Bombardier Learjet. A legend running out of runway, few aircraft names carry the cultural weight of the Learjet. Bill Lear's creation, first certified in 1964, defined an entire era of private aviation. Celebrities, executives, heads of state, the Learjet was the symbol of having made it. And then, on March 28, 2022, the final Learjet ever built was delivered. After 60 years and more than 3,000 aircraft, Bombardier ended production to focus exclusively on its larger and more profitable Challenger and Global families. What that means for today's buyer is uncomfortable math. Learjets are now what industry insiders call orphan aircraft, built by a manufacturer that no longer makes them. Bombardier has committed to parts and support through at least 2030, and independent service centers like Duncan Aviation handle hundreds of these aircraft a year. So it's not a crisis yet. But beyond 2030, the support picture becomes genuinely murky. Then, in October of 2025, the National Transportation Safety Board issued an urgent safety recommendation covering 1,883 Learjet aircraft across 10 models, warning that landing gear components on these planes could separate from the airframe during landing. The warning stemmed from a fatal accident in February 2024, and the discovery that a retaining bolt installation issue has been a recurring concern since 1995. As of the NTSB's October 2025 recommendation, only about 12% of affected aircraft had completed the relevant inspection. The NTSB criticized the FAA for not yet mandating these inspections through an airworthiness directive. Pilots are not saying Learjets are falling out of the sky. They are saying when an aircraft no longer has a manufacturer actively developing it, when a major safety body is issuing urgent warnings, and when the parts supply clock is ticking, buying one today is a gamble on a diminishing asset. And professional pilots, by nature, don't like unquantifiable risk. Before we reveal our top 2, I want to pause for just a moment. If you're finding this kind of behind-the-scenes aviation intelligence valuable, the real information that money managers and flight departments rely on, please consider subscribing to Luxury Aloft. We bring you honest, thoroughly researched content about the world of luxury travel, and we'd love to have you with us. Now, back to our list, because the top 2 answers we heard may genuinely surprise you. Number 2, the Gulfstream G280, buying into yesterday. Here's a fascinating and slightly uncomfortable story. The Gulfstream G280 is, by almost every measure, an excellent aircraft. It cruises at nearly 475 knots, carries up to 10 passengers in genuine comfort, and has a range of roughly 400 nautical miles, enough to connect New York to London non-stop, though typically with a stop for transatlantic missions. Its factory list price as of mid-2025 was $24.5 million, so why are experienced pilots waving it off? Timing. In September of 2025, Gulfstream unveiled the brand new G300, a direct successor to the G280. The G300 completed its first flight in December of 2025. When a successor model is already flying, it does something very specific to the model it's replacing. It drives down resale values. Industry analysts tracking the private jet market note that new jets can lose up to 15% of their value in the first year. And when a manufacturer simultaneously announces a newer, better version of the same aircraft, that depreciation curve steepens. Pilots who've been in the market for 20 or 30 years have seen this pattern before. You buy a current aircraft, and 18 months later the manufacturer introduces what is essentially its replacement. Suddenly, your multi-million-dollar purchase is the old model. The charter market moves to the new one. Resale buyers wait for it. And you're sitting on a depreciating asset in a category the manufacturer has, for all practical purposes, already moved past. The G280 is a fine airplane, but in the words of one veteran captain we spoke with, you'd be buying the last chapter of a book whose sequel is already out. Number 1. The Learjet 75. Liberty, the final chapter. Some of you may be thinking, didn't we already cover the Learjet? Yes, but pilots singled out the Learjet 75 Liberty specifically, and for a reason that goes beyond what we discussed earlier. The Learjet 75 Liberty was intended to be the aircraft that revived the Learjet line. Bombardier introduced it in 2019 with an upgraded fly-by-wire auto throttle, redesigned cabin, and a price tag that was meant to compete aggressively in the light jet space. On paper, it looked like a savior for the brand. But the Liberty arrived late, at precisely the wrong moment. Bombardier's decision to end the entire Learjet program came just 2 years after the Liberty's introduction. The aircraft that was supposed to be the future of Learjet became, instead, its last aircraft ever built. The final Liberty was delivered in March 2022. What pilots describe as an aircraft caught in a painful in-between. It's newer than most Learjets, which means it theoretically has support longevity within Bombardier's commitment through 2030. But it's also the model with the fewest hours in the field, the fewest experienced mechanics who know it deeply, and zero manufacturer development pipeline behind it. If you encounter a novel technical issue on a Liberty, there's no engineering team at Bombardier actively working on that aircraft type's future. You are, in effect, the last customer of a discontinued product line. Pilots note that the Liberty does benefit from some shared componentry with Bombardier's Challenger line, which helps somewhat with parts. But when they weigh that against the emotional reality of owning the last of a deadline, with all the depreciation, the support uncertainty, and the resale challenges that come with orphan status, the verdict is consistent: pass. The bigger picture. What's striking about the answers we collected is what didn't come up repeatedly: the Gulfstream G650, the Bombardier Global 7500, the Dassault Falcon 6X, the Embraer Praetor 600. These aircraft, all currently in production, all with active manufacturer support, all with strong resale and charter demand, received almost no negative mentions from pilots. That's not an accident. The pattern that emerged is clear. The jet's pilots avoid fall into a handful of categories: aircraft entangled in active legal or safety disputes, aircraft whose manufacturers have stepped away, and aircraft whose successors have already been announced or delivered, leaving the buyer holding a model the market is already moving past. In a world where a new private jet can lose 15% of its value in its first year, and where maintenance on a grounded aircraft can cost more per month than most Americans earn in a year, the pilots who fly these machines every day have developed a sixth sense for the traps. They're not judging these aircraft on speed alone. They're judging them on the total cost of the decision. And that, perhaps more than any specification in any brochure, is the wisdom worth carrying with you. Thank you for spending this time with us here on Luxury Aloft. If this raised questions you'd like us to explore, perhaps which jets pilots enthusiastically recommend, or how the new generation of ultra-long-range aircraft stacks up against the established names, drop that in the comments. We read every one. We base our content on thorough research and current verified information, and we're grateful to the professional aviators and aviation industry sources whose expertise made this episode possible. Until next time, fly well and fly informed.